I thought I knew what I wanted to say. Um, but I've heard a lot of people talk tonight. And I was trying to find some quotes earlier today. You know, one of the one that comes to mind is, and I won't get this right, but something about if you don't learn from history, it tends to repeat itself. Um, I'm going to take you back in time. You know, Julie's talked about sitting in board meetings with crowds like this. I had deja vu because there was a board member named Lowell McNeil who had a beard, and I don't think I'm as bald as he was, but I was at a board meeting with a very large crowd like this, and I was probably laying on the floor where Conway is, next to Lowell McNeil's chair. That was very hard for me. It was very hard for Lowell McNeil. Well, no, for Lowell it wasn't. For the rest of the board, it probably was. But it was a challenge. If we do this tonight, it's a step back towards that kind of environment. You know, what I've heard so far, and I've only heard two people speak to it, was that, well, and the superintendent, is that it's a violation of the law. You have a lawyer who is the most well-known lawyer in the state of Wisconsin for giving opinions that will support administration 99.9%, and as far as I'm concerned, 100% of the time. You have the WERC giving you an opinion that there is no problem with Act 10. You have WASB's lawyers giving you an opinion that we have no problem with Act 10. You have Mr. Weiser, who has more years than he probably cares to admit, experience in looking at these things, and he's saying we have no problem with Act 10. So if the only thing you're concerned about is the law, you know, I would beg to differ. You're taking the opinion of one person who, in my opinion, has an agenda, and you're looking over the opinions of many other people who are not involved. We passed a contract, as was referred to earlier, when Act 10 was starting up. And we were pretty proud of that as a board. We passed the handbook. And if my mind doesn't fail me, that handbook was presented by Carrie Hanstead and recommended to us by the administration. And I assumed that the administration at that time had it reviewed by lawyers who said it was okay. So now, what has happened in 2 years? We reasserted that handbook a year ago. People have talked about a lot of things tonight. They've talked about the referendum that has been supported by the teachers and other people in the district. It got that through with the current handbook. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You know, we had a Board of Adjustments who has worked diligently under the same kind of arrangement as Mr. Frontier alluded to. If it's not fixed, don't break it. You know, we have graduation rates going in the right direction for the first time in a long time. If it's not fixed, don't break it. What is this dire urgency in the last 6 months to take this handbook and change it in a way which, as everybody agrees, the bottom line is right here. We are the board, we control the handbook. Nothing gets done to that handbook unless we say so. So what is the harm in cooperating with people and asking for their opinion and getting input, and then we make the final decision? It's not like they're going to come in and be able to change because they want to change. We have the control. You know, everybody has talked about tools. You know, let's use the tools. Well, I haven't seen one tool that'll educate a kid, but I've seen a lot of teachers do. And I don't think that changing this handbook is going to do anything to improve the education of our kids, and I will definitely vote against it.
All right, thank you.